I was drunk and mistakenly walked into the wrong bathhouse. When I saw the CEO appear in the bath, I thought I was seeing things, but when I got closer, I realized it was real. I looked at the CEO in front of me, thinking he was my best friend, but when I saw his face more clearly, I was shocked. I quickly grabbed a bathrobe and ran out. A month later, the doctor told me I was pregnant. I couldn't believe it myself after all. In the past 20 years, I had never even touched a man's hand. I was completely confused. But in the end, I decided to have this child, whose origin I didn't understand. 6 years passed. I became a single mom, raising my little boy on my own one day. I went for a tutoring interview, but as soon as I walked in, I bumped into the CEO. We both looked at each other and felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity. Just then, my little boy ran up to him, hugging the CEO and calling him Dad. The CEO, however, ignored the boy completely. This made me think the CEO must be married, but then, as I went upstairs, I overheard the nanny's conversation and learned by surprise that the old lady's grandson was an orphan, not the CEO's biological son. At that moment, I got a call from my son's kindergarten teacher saying my son had developed a high fever. I quickly went downstairs. In a panic, I was about to ask the old lady for leave, seeing how hard it was for me as a single mom. The old lady kindly offered to let me bring my son to her house so he could play with her grandson. But when she saw my son for the first time, she was shocked. He looked exactly like the CEO when he was a child. The old lady couldn't help but wonder if her son had a one-night stand and secretly had a son. She immediately asked me if I knew the CEO, but I told her I didn't know him, that today was the first time I had met him. The old lady didn't ask more after hearing that. Just then, her adopted grandson came out. The old lady said my son was a guest and told the adopted grandson to take out the toys and play with him. I was about to go with the old lady to the study to prepare some lessons, but as soon as we left, the adopted grandson revealed his true nature. He shoved my son and his head hit the corner of the table. He passed out immediately. I came out and saw this scene, panicking. I rushed to help the CEO, just happened to return home at that moment, and immediately helped take my son to the hospital. Later, the CEO handed me a business card, saying to call him if anything happened. Then he left to deal with some company matters. As soon as the CEO left, the old lady arrived at the hospital apologizing profusely, but at that moment the doctor said my son had lost too much blood and urgently needed a transfusion, but he had a rare blood type. The hospital didn't have any stock. What I didn't know was that the CEO also had the same rare Rh negative blood type. Hearing that my son urgently needed blood and had the same blood type as the CEO, the old lady quickly called the CEO and secretly arranged for the butler to do a paternity test. This matter was to be kept strictly confidential and only the butler would handle it. The CEO hurried to the hospital and asked his mother what had happened. The old lady said my son needed blood. The CEO complained that his blood type was so rare it couldn't possibly be the same as his, but the old lady confirmed that it was indeed the same. Reluctantly, the CEO agreed to donate blood. After recovering the adopted grandson